for valuable artifacts. The locals had thought it was a stroke of luck that the rains had opened the entrance to the sinkhole, but Terra had other suspicions. The last time they had spoken, the goddess Freya told her she would not intervene with Terra's quest on Midgard. However, she was beginning to think the gods of Asgard might not be the most honest of beings in the Nine Realms.
"Big deal," Leif muttered sarcastically. "The Vikings who worshipped my great-grandmother went farther afield than Egypt. We're here for another of Freya's vestments, not the trinkets they brought back."
If you could tell us precisely where that vestment is, or even what it is, we could skip ahead to that part.
"I would like to do that, but it's not so simple. Look here."
He held up a rolled piece of leather.
"Since you, let's say, reinvigorated me with Seder, I've been able to feel the flow of it better than I could before. I've managed to make this map."
Terra smiled as inky marks appeared on the piece of supple leather. It looked like an unseen paintbrush was swiping across the brown surface with ink and water, leaving behind a map of northern Europe centered on Scandinavia. Norway, Sweden, and Denmark surrounded by the northern and Baltic seas. Terra made out a corner of the UK and the northern shore of Poland and Germany. Leif moved his fingers across the leather, a gesture that would have looked the same on a touchscreen. The map centered on Gotland Island, which was off the southeastern coast of Sweden. On the other side of the Baltic Sea lay Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, then Finland to the north. St. Petersburg was slightly too far east to be visible at this magnification.
"You can see how Gotland is more reddish than the rest?"
"I can." Terra marveled at how the country's shorelines seemed to redraw themselves with an unseen pen occasionally.
"That's because Seder is stronger here. I can feel that. But when I zoom in..."
Leif expanded the map until the island filled the entire piece of leather.
"It won't go any closer. I can sense it near here, but that's it. It could be in a lake for all I know. Or under a shop. Perhaps one of those with a bag of bylar. Who would have thought to make a sweet out of a carriage?"
The Asgardian's stomach rumbled at the thought of another helping of cheap candy. "Well, if your internal magic GPS can only get us within 100 kilometers, we'll have to do the rest of it the old-fashioned way. That means documenting everything we find."
"I have been documenting everything. Observe."
Leif zoomed in closer with a flourish, and a map of the cave appeared, like pools of ink flowing into each other.
"If there's some pattern to the cave, I don't see it. It looks random to me. I also haven't seen any places that scream, 'hidden room.'"
"It's impressive, but I don't see any marks for the artifacts we've found. You should at least add the coins. They're from another continent. How is that not amazing? Everyone thinks the modern world is the pinnacle of a global economy, but these prove trade has been going on at a continental scale for centuries."
"We're on an island. Isn't everything here from another continent?" Leif protested.
"Oh, cheer up. If it weren't for you, we'd be digging in an entirely different city. We'll probably find the artifacts years sooner, thanks to you."
Leif groaned. "Ugh. Being immortal does not mean I don't get bored, you know. Maybe it is in a lake. We should check and maybe use the chance to try out your underwater breathing again."
"The last time we tried that, it took me an hour before I could breathe air again. I'm not in any mood to repeat it." Leif chuckled, as if her gasping for air like a fish on a hook was anything besides terrifying.
"I'm sure you'll get it in less time. Maybe 15 minutes?
Even if I did want to try my luck at being a mermaid in a mountain lake, which I don't, by the way, this dig is hardly going to progress if we're not here. We're understaffed. Basically uninsurable."
Leif snorted. "Good to know your former profession of notarized gambler is still in your heart, Terra. And the diggers we hired are doing fine. I checked in on them this morning, and they found a hammer or a shovel or something in one of the caves deeper down."
"A shovel? Why didn't you tell me?"
"Because, it's a shovel. Freya is the mistress of many things, but digging holes is not one of them. We could expect to find another piece of jewelry, or perhaps some part of her chariot that she left here. Although the last time we saw her, the chariot seemed to..."